For a long time, I've been using a lot of different methods to measure the swing weight or twist weight of a tennis racket. Most of those methods involved rotating or rocking a tennis racket on a cross string. And one of the things I found out about that is, depending on which cross string you use, you'll get a totally different swing weight reading. And the reason for that is because when you're rocking a tennis racket using the cross strings up here, if your measurements are inaccurate, your swing weight reading is going to be inaccurate. If your weight reading is inaccurate, then your swing weight reading is going to be inaccurate. The swing weight that you get is totally dependent upon the accuracy of the measurements that you put into it. I've used a swing tool, I've used cameras to actually make videos of the tennis racket swinging to come up with the period of the rotation and everything else, and pretty much all in all it's a fairly complicated method of measuring inertia. Recently, I've come into this swing weight machine, which is a relatively low-cost swing weight machine that works on an Apple iPhone. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up the app and I'll place the app in the cradle. Okay? I've already set up my swing weight machine. Everything's perfectly level, and now all I want to do is I want to measure the inertia. I've got the racket set up so that it's vertical. I move this over to the far side, I won't call it left or right, and just click the measure button. I release it and it starts recording. When it goes from recording to stop, then you want to stop, and it says to wait for 6 seconds. The swing weight of this racket is 317. Now I can measure again. I'm recording and it's going to measure for a few swings, then say stop. I can stop it, and then it wants me to wait for a certain amount of time. The reason it's having me wait is because this machine is actually going back and forth with a little spring. Every time you rock the tennis racket and that spring starts stretching and pushing and everything, the spring is going to heat up. And as the spring heats up, it's going to get stronger or weaker. I think it gets weaker. So it's having you wait between each one of these readings that you're making so that you'll get a more accurate reading. What I've done now is this is the 5th reading that I'm actually taking. I can tell that because what's happened here is it's counting over here. And as it's counting, it's giving me the mean swing weight of this tennis racket. The mean swing weight is 316.75. Okay? What it's coming up with up here is 317 because that's the rounded off version of 316.75. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new group. Alright, I'm going to put my phone down because it's just easier to do this with the phone down. And I'm going to rotate my racket 90 degrees. I'm just going to eyeball it. That looks about right. What I've done is, before I've put a level on my tennis racket to make sure it was perfectly level, but I think just eyeballing it is good enough. Okay? I'm going to rotate my tennis racket again to the far stop. I hit the measure button and let it go. I'm measuring the same racket, but now I'm measuring it on a different axis. I'm going to stop this again, wait for the time, And because I'm measuring it on a different axis, I'm not only measuring the swing weight of a tennis racket, I'm measuring the twist weight of a tennis racket. So the readings that I'm getting are now the swing weight and the twist weight combined together. I'm just going to wait for this to time down. Hit my measure again. And if I look right here at the second one, I don't know if you can see it, I'll give you a close-up a little bit later. It says that my difference here between the first reading and the second reading is 14.36, I believe. That's the average difference between the 3 readings that I had for this go-around and the 5 readings that I had for the previous go-around. Okay, that reading there is actually giving me the twist weight of the tennis racket. Right here now, I don't know if you noticed it, but, or even if you can see it, but there's a little 1 in parentheses over here. That's telling me that one of my readings, and it was the last one because it just came up, is a little bit out of sync from the other 4 readings. It's telling me that my difference now is 14.27. That's my twist weight. Down here it's telling me that my mean for the 5 readings before is 316.75. One of the things I really like about this is it only weighs maybe about 2 pounds. So if I wanted to pick this up and take it off to a tennis court, as long as I could find a flat, stable platform to put it on, this little device right here is extremely portable. Another thing is it's very cheap. It's a lot less than any other swing weight machine that you're going to come across. Okay, I'll put in the description where you can actually buy this if you want, but let me show you a little bit more about this app. All right, the first reading right here was the swing weight that I actually measured. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the right arrow right here, and it's showing me here what my 5 measurements were. The first measurement was 316.77, then 316.74, then 316.7, 77 again, and then 76. So the difference between the low and the high was about 0.07 of a kilogram per centimeter squared. All right. If I want to delete one of these, all I have to do is swipe it to the left, click delete. Whoops, it didn't delete it. Click delete, and then it'll take it right out of there. Okay. If I go back to the front page, let's look at the other one that's got the count where there's a 1 in parentheses there. I'm going to select that one, and here it went from 330.98, 331.1, 331.09, and 331.13, and there was 1 that was a little out. What I could do is just leave it in there and just use those measurements. But if I want to delete that one that's different than all the other ones, I swipe it to the left, hit the delete button. Whoops. Now it's showing me that another one up here is a lot different than these 3 down here, because now this goes from 9, 10, and 13, and this one's about 15 points off. So I could take that one out. Now it's showing me that I have 3 of them. So I haven't used this app an awful lot. I've used it quite a bit, but I'm not, all that much of an expert with it. But anyway, I think this is a swing weight app that if you're interested in looking at a swing weight machine you might be wanting to check out. If you have any comments or questions about the... Oh, another thing is it comes with a calibration rod. Let me just show you. Whoops! There's the calibration rod right there. You put that in there when you set up the machine. It takes maybe 10-15 minutes to get the machine all set up so that you can start working with it. And then once you've got it all set up, it takes no time to measure the inertia of the tennis racket. If you got any comments or questions, please leave a comment down below. I'll respond to them just as quickly as I can. If you'd like to know anything else about the swing weight machine, please leave a comment. I'll be more than happy to find the answer for you or whatever. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful day.